friends, great day, fantastic day, wonderful day to be here talking water and wastewater. Whether it's your first time tuning in or you're listening and watching us every single day, thank you for spending your time here with us. This is the Water Online Show, brought to you by Water Online, the leading online destination for the water wastewater market. I'm your host, as always, Travis Kennedy, and joining me as usual is my co-host, chief editor, all-around great guy, water guru, Mr. Kevin Westerling. Kevin?
I don't know about all that, but thank you.
You're all of that and more, my friend, at least to me and to the Water Online and Water Online Show universe. Thank you for coming to work today and joining me here on the Water Online Show, because we do have a very special day.
Yes, we do.
I mean, we cover a lot of topics here, anything from PFAS to filtration to pumping to workforce management, all of it. But today specifically, I want to focus on a topic that we have brought up a few times, and that is the cross-departmental collaboration. So collaboration amongst a lot of different entities within the water and wastewater market. So typically when we talk about the term cross-departmental collaboration, we're talking about within a municipality itself. It can be 3 or 4 different professionals within that municipality that are all working together towards a common goal. Typically we see that a lot related to big ticket retrofits, new builds, or the implementation of digital solutions that they're utilizing for the first time. So collaboration is more important now than it probably ever has been. But when we do talk about collaboration, one thing that is specific that is really affecting the marketplace in a positive way is the collaboration that has almost always existed between municipality, contractor, and consulting engineering firm. So we've had consulting engineers on the show before. We've also had municipality representatives on the show before, but this might be the first time we've had a construction and contractor on the show. And they are just as important as anybody else in the entire process of as it relates to building and retrofitting water, wastewater treatment plants.
And do those entities really collaborate as much as they should during project delivery? I think these guys do it better.
Yeah.
So we should dig into that.
I think they do it better.
Intended.
I think they do it better too, but I do have a little bit more insight. I did do some research on these guys. So I do have some insider information that I'm going to let them spill the beans, because there's a lot of exciting things happening here. A lot.
We should introduce them.
We should. We should stop the build up, because I don't know if we can get any higher, because these guys are awesome. Joining us today on the Water Online audio video hotline is Jordan Carrier and Matt McKinnon from Garney Construction. They are building sustainable futures with the world's most precious resources, water and people. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Travis. Appreciate it.
So Garney Construction was recently involved in a record-setting pipeline project. Now, Kevin, I'm not talking about just some regular pipeline project. This was a record-setting project, and it was done in Virginia. So I was wondering if you guys could give me some more detail on exactly what was done and how'd you pull it off?
Yeah, let's talk. I don't want to nerd out, so if I get too long-winded, let me know. I can certainly pause. But
Kevin and I are nerds to begin with, so you're in the right spot, man. If you want to nerd out, go ahead,
do it.
Let's do it.
Not just in the U.S., but in the world. This set a new record, a new landmark for what HDPE pipe can do in a horizontal directional drill. So for those that aren't familiar with an HDD, as I'll call it, it's a trenchless technology. Gets from point A to point B. A lot of limitations on it, ground conditions, pipe integrity, sometimes surface conditions. And not only was this one a record-setting distance for that pipe material, it was also started on land and ended in water. So we created a platform out in the middle of the James River and gave ourselves an area to work. Started with a pilot intersect from land on the North Shore, met in the middle, the two ends kissed. We followed it out. 3-4 months later, after that process, we set everything up, and over a 37-hour period, pulled back 42-inch HDPE pipe for about 5,700 linear feet.
That is amazing.
A new record for what that pipe can do in an HDD setting. So extremely proud of the team and what we did. It was done through a design build manner. So a lot of extremely smart people all pulling in the same direction made it happen. Very exciting.
Did you have that knowledge as a company on how to do it beforehand, or was it, hey, we understand what the customer's looking to do, so now we just got to figure out, because we're all very intelligent, right? We're going to figure out, not Kevin and I'm talking about you there at Garney Construction. Now we're going to figure out how we're going to do it, or was the implementation of technology already in place?
A little bit of both. So the technology was there. But I guess a little more scale. This is a 4-mile wide crossing of the James River, right? And I remember even pre-award of the project, standing on the North Shore, looking across this 4-mile body of water and saying, right, we got to get from here to there.
That's all.
How you got to do it, we just got to get the right people on the team to figure it out.
You understood the assignment. That's
exactly right. Yeah, right. The end goal was pretty crystal clear. We need a pipe from A to B, and that's why we're going to hire the right people to make it happen. It's been done before, just not to that magnitude for that diameter. So we put ourselves to work, got the right team assembled, and 2 years later, it came to fruition. We made it happen. So that was as of May of this year is when we successfully made that pullback. So I'm sure you all have seen some of the buzz in the industry, but the team that made that happen is pretty spectacular.
I mean, as far as infrastructure goes, you talk about it took 2 years to do. That is actually like not just a record project. That's like record time to be able to pull off what was done, to stand across the river and say, well, we got to get there. All right. Clock starts now. There you go. 2 years later.
Challenge accepted.
Exactly right. I love the approach, man.
So did somebody call Guinness or what?
We haven't submitted for that yet, but thank you for the idea.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So like all those technical aspects are great and super impressive, but stepping back, what was the goal as far as the water supply? What did you do? What did you achieve for the people around there?
Yeah, great question. Let's zoom out from the record drill, right? And why was the project even conceived? Why did we need to get flows from here to there? So for those familiar with the Newport News, Suffolk area, Virginia, a lot of peninsulas, right? Peninsulas, a lot of bodies of water. The whole project, the pipeline, and then what Matt's going to cover on the treatment side was to consolidate flows. So get flows from the North Shore to the South Shore, cross-department collaboration, Travis, what you mentioned earlier.
Very important.
They operated under the same roof, but it was North Shore operations, South Shore operations, river between them, clear dividing responsibility. Now they were going to connect. They were going to shut down a treatment facility on the North Shore, pipe all the effluent across the river, and eventually consolidate flows, have an advanced treatment process there at our Nansemond treatment plant that Matt and team are constructing now. But that's what it did for the water supply, really wastewater supplies, get it all into one place, consolidate flows. And I think we can come back to cross-department collaboration, but that was a big lift on this one as well. But anyway, Matt,
it's funny you mentioned cross-department collaboration, because that's what Jordan and I also got to do on this project.
Fantastic.
Right? So Jordan works for our pipeline group, and then I'm on the facility side. So Jordan gets it there and we treat it. That's what we like to say. And
nice.
That was kind of the end game here. So we need to, HRSD decided they need to shut down the Bow Harbor treatment plant on the North Shore, and get all of their treatment consolidated in their newer and more advanced wastewater treatment facility on the Nansemond side. And so Jordan and crew are marching it towards us, and we're working on getting the plant upgraded so that it can take that additional flow.
Well, I mean, when you talk about being able to work together on the construction side, but also forcing these two entities on the actual end game side of things, we're now north side and south side. It sounds like, something from Remember the Titans. Now they gotta work together. I'm sure that the softball game that it happens between those two teams out on the field, it certainly gets a little bit more intense. He gets a little chippy, but now they're all on the same team. So I think that's great. One question from the science part of it, mechanical science of it, I'm going to talk about aquifer recharge. So can we talk a little bit about why that's so important and why reuse is so important for that area specifically, for those that may not be familiar with that area of the country?
Yeah, absolutely. So Jordan hit on it. So we're taking the flows. We're going to get up to 50 MGD capacity out of Nansemond, the Nansemond wastewater treatment facility. And then we're going to take a portion of that and send it through some advanced water treatment as well. That's called the HRST SWIFT process. And so SWIFT is Sustainable Water Initiative for Tomorrow. And we're currently working on the design for a 34 MGD advanced water treatment facility. And so that'll take the wastewater and convert it to reuse, basically reuse water to put down into the aquifer through managed aquifer recharge wells. Currently, the project's got about 10 of those going in. And this is super critical for this facility, this area, not just this facility. But if you look at the geology of this area, it's one of the few areas in the United States that's actually sinking. And so what we have is 5 to 7 millimeters of sinking per year in this area. And so it's a geological anomaly to some extent, but it's also man-made or man-created, at least from man-made situations where we're pulling water out of the Potomac aquifer.
So wait, man, the whole place is sinking?
Sinking. It's amazing. And then you have sea level rise on the other side. So you've got this dichotomy where you've got, land going down, water coming up. And this is a great solution to try and, combat that subsidence of the land. Overdrawing the Potomac aquifer is certainly contributing to this. And through managed aquifer recharge, this is going to try and at least balance that out. It may not push it back up, but hopefully, slow it down a little bit.
I want to stay here just for 1 second. I know, Kevin, you have a question, but I want to stay there for a second. You mentioned the term SWIFT, right? Do I have that right? Is that like trademarked? Is that a Garney Construction owned kind of term, or
that is an HRSD, Hampton Roads Sanitation District. That's their trademark. That's the water that's produced out of these facilities, Swift water, and that water is put back into the aquifer. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Interesting. All right, so I guess they have to fight over the Swifty trademark, right, for all those
something like that. Yeah.
No, I had not heard the term, right? So I wanted to make sure I gave attribution to where the term was coming.
Sure.
But this. I'm fascinated by this sinking idea, because you now have communities that are essentially dropping below sea level, but yet they're still considered to be on land. And there has to be other areas in the country where that's a big deal. I can think of New Orleans being one of them, having just been there for WebTech. Other areas in the country have to face the same challenges, right?
I think a lot of areas are. I mean, reuse is not new. It's been around since 60s, 70s. It really, took off. And then non-potable reuse has been around for quite a while. And so looking at, either direct or indirect potable reuse for how to create sustainable futures with our water, that's just a big move in the industry. Whether it's, to your point, New Orleans, a lot of this is going on in California, Texas, Florida. We see a lot of areas where we're piloting and supporting our clients through collaborative delivery projects with looking at how to be better stewards of our precious resources.
Yeah, what can we do long term, right? This is a long game.
Yeah. I want to stay here for one more second, Kevin, if you don't mind.
Sure. Dig in.
So now I'm curious about this, because of these other areas where it's certainly impacting the community. Like, what is the first warning sign that a municipality should look for that they're faced with a similar problem that you just corrected in Virginia? Like, what are the warning signs that they should keep an eye out for? Be like, I should probably call Garney and try and figure out like how we're going to fix this issue. What should they be looking for?
I think if they want to treat water, they should call us regardless of what they've got going on. I mean, Jordan and I've been around with Garney for a long time, and we love nerding out on treating water.
Perfect.
It's one of the cool things about what we do is we get to move water from one place to another. We get to help the communities that we're in, make sure that the waters, that they're playing in and swimming in are clean. And then when they turn that tap, the water's coming out. And so, we're here to support the needs of our clients and communities we work and live in. Yeah.
I like their energy, Kev.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I like to nerd out on water too. I don't have like the engineering expertise at all, but I'm familiar with direct and indirect potable reuse. And I like the direct because just straight to the tap, because it just proves how good our water treatment professionals are, that, they can send you clean water right to your tap. But as you described with the aquifers, sometimes indirect is actually better. Is that correct? Is that why that seems to be more of a trend than direct potable reuse?
Yeah, in this case, this is a great case example of where indirect potable reuse is providing a ton of additional benefits, not just supplementing our raw water supply through the Potomac aquifer, but also trying to help with some of that land subsidence. And then also, as you overdraw the Potomac aquifer, draw water out, the pressure drops, and you have the chance for saltwater intrusion from the ocean. And so you get all of these side effects of making clean water that eventually will end up in, folks' taps and their drinking water source. The challenge in Virginia is direct potable reuse is just not legislatively available. The laws don't support it. It's not something that can actually be accomplished. And I get it, Kevin, you're absolutely right. We've got a ton of great water professionals. We can put it back in the pipe. And it's not something that's regularly done in the United States. There's some stigmas to it. There's concerns from a lot of the stuff you hear on the news on the areas where water is a challenge. And so indirect potable reuse is a great option. It's a great way to get that clean wastewater back into a source that can be used for water, drinking water.
So, I mean, sort of the overarching buzzword and term that we keep going back to, I would put it as collaborative project delivery. I mean, that's essentially what has occurred here in Virginia. So talk about Garney's role in the entire process. Like, what is the role specifically, and where you come in with your Superman cape and you kind of deliver on what people thought was impossible to deliver on in the time frame you delivered on it. So talk to me a little bit about Garney's role in that process.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting on the facility side because we get to innovate with our clients and with our engineering partners, and we get to look at all these different cool options of how to treat water more effectively and understanding the cost trade-offs. There's always trade-offs, and every decision that's made, there's got to be, there's something we're either getting one thing or we're getting another, and we're paying one thing and we're saving money on another side. And so that's really where we're able to provide that support and that collaborative environment. We can give them the advice. We can give them show them the money, show them what it's going to cost to do this stuff, show them what the schedule time frame is, and help them make those informed decisions. And Jordan and our group on the pipeline side, they're doing the same thing from a collaborative delivery standpoint. I mean, you don't set a record doing design, bid, build. You set it doing a design, build job, and that's what those guys did.
Great way to put it.
Yeah. So design, bid, build is still probably predominant, right? But so how can they learn, and what would you say about collaborative project delivery, besides what you already just covered, just about like the end result of the process in terms of maybe time and money, in addition to, that collaborative process that you discussed?
Two of municipalities' favorite things, saving time and saving money, right? So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think those are two primary items, but also the quality of your decision-making during the design process goes through the roof when you have the designer, the contractor, the client, all in the same room saying, what's the best decision we need to make here? And you're not making decisions and then remaking them after you get the rest of the party on board, right? I mean, go back to the record-setting drill. In the bridging documents, that wasn't a record-setting drill. It was a shorter from water to water. But during the design process, as the design builder, we were able to get the right people in the room and say, no. We can put this on the table, get the right people, make informed decisions. The quality of it was much better than what it would have been underneath of a traditional delivery. So quality of decisions goes way up.
I just wonder, was there any hiccups in the process that you had to overcome?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm sure there are plenty, right?
Let's go deep on all of them.
And that's where collaboration probably, that's the problem solving part, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be times, I'll use permitting as an example, right? I mean, even whether it's a traditional delivery or a design build or even a CMAR delivery, anytime you get outside agencies or other variables involved, you're going to have hiccups. It's how do you work through them? And is everybody, pulling the rope in the same direction? All aligned on the project charter? Is that front and center versus whose problem is it, right? It's our problem. We gotta get through it. But there's going to be hiccups. We're not going to avoid all of those.
Right.
And I don't know if you guys caught the pun that Jordan used earlier, but we're all pulling in the same direction with the
we got
HDD.
it. I mean,
I just want to throw that out there.
The show is known for the dad jokes, right? So that did not go unnoticed.
Matt didn't want a good joke to just
right. I just want to make sure that the show just flows. They're going to expect dad jokes on this show. So One thing to note on that is, yeah, you have everybody in the room rowing the boat together, right? And, whether it's about saving money, time, efficiency, whatever it is, those are all desirable outcomes and sort of part of it. But one thing I don't want to get lost in this is that the ultimate outcome is what is best for the constituents and the communities itself. And that's being able to supply clean water, access to water for all the constituents and communities that are affected by this area. And the fact that was the ultimate goal. I mean, above it all, everything else, everything was written down from that top to bottom. So to be part of that, with the end goal being giving access to water to that community, I think is just, I think it's something incredible. You were part of something special. I mean, collaboration is obviously key. I mean, it's right there, in the name. But do the different entities always play nice? I mean, we talked about having everybody in the same room and working together and rowing the boat in the same way. Yeah, kumbaya, we have a mission. But there are different personalities, as always, that are in every room. But did they always play nice? And how did you ensure like a healthy, beneficial collaboration as you went through the process?
It's tough, right? You get a lot of different parties, a lot of different initiatives in the same room. But if you're intentional about it, it's and very crystal clear on how are we going to get aligned, it can happen. People will talk about team building and aligning around a charter, a mission. Why are we doing what we're doing? Take the logo that's on your chest off. Take the entity that you may work for out of the picture of why are you personally involved in this? And then beyond, once you get aligned on the charter, it's who are you personally, right? But what's beyond the stamp that you may apply to the set of plans is tell me about who you are. And that's what makes this so much fun is you get to interact with people that you got a lot more in common than what you may think, aside from loving water and what the water industry is doing. There's a lot of other common denominators. And if you're intentional about chartering and team building and partnering sessions early on, they can feel rigid at first. Don't get me wrong, right? I mean, anytime you get in there and it's, this, you will get along and we will do this. It takes time. But if you're intentional about it, keep at it. It's amazing what the team can, just get aligned on and really rally behind coming out of it.
It's like the name on the front is a heck of a lot more important than the name on the back. If you watch the movie Miracle, that's the
okay, brother.
Yeah, I try, some pop culture, sports, doesn't hurt to bring it into the conversation a little bit.
Sir. But I mean, obviously you just set a record, so it worked for you guys, and congratulations on that.
Guys, congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And it isn't just about the record. We could see that, we can feel that, we can hear it. It isn't about the record. It is about being able to deliver water to communities that need it, making that a right to clean water for everybody. Well, the record's great, right? Like, I mean, it is something that we definitely need to note and make a big deal of. But Jordan and Matt and Garney Construction are not in it for the awards. They're in it for the betterment of the industry and the communities in which the industry serves. So without a doubt, but it is just a little bit about the record. I think that's pretty awesome what you guys did. It's pretty crazy. Again, Jordan, when you drew that visual in your mind about like standing on one side of the river saying, well, I guess that we got to get there. So better get to work, right? And then Matt comes in and works his magic and the team's working together. It's awesome. Good stuff. Jordan, Matt, thank you very much for joining us here today. I do want to give you a chance to let the listeners know that how they can contact you if they have questions, if they would like to get in contact about a project that they're thinking about for their community. What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
So our website's going to be the best move depending on where you're at in the country. We span coast to coast, and on our website, you'll find our local market leaders that are going to be our experts in that area. So no matter where you are and what your issue may be, if it's water, wastewater, really anything heavy civil construction related, we would be more than happy to help and look forward to hearing from you.
Right on. Jordan Carrier, Matt McKinnon. We are big fans of Garney Construction here at Water Online, especially after this story. You guys are awesome. Cannot wait to have you back because I want to hear about more projects that you're going to be working on in the next 12 months. So if it's okay with you, we're going to be reaching out at some point in the future in the next 12 months to have you back on the show. Much appreciated. On behalf of Water Online, we want to thank you for coming on to the show. Much appreciated. And we will hopefully get a chance to talk to you soon. And for all of you out there, our listeners and our viewers, we want to thank you for spending your time here with us. As always, it is much appreciated. We cannot wait to have you back on the very next episode. So until then, we will see you next time, and take care.